Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. Two topics of conversation this morning. First of all, the Gale of Defections and the APC's chances in the Southeast. We'll look at that, and then in the second half of the program, we'll look at the review by President Tinubu of the clemency list, wherein, as you know by now, he dropped more than half of those who were initially from around 175 to around 30. But that will be in the second part of the program. Starting off first, our guest, Prince Paul Ikonne. Prince Paul Ikonne is in our Abuja studio, former Executive Secretary and CEO of NALDA. Good morning, and thank you very much for coming on our program.
Thank you for having me, and good morning.
Indeed, our pleasure. Thank you. So, well, you know, journalistic parlances, suddenly we now have a gale of defections, which means that everybody is making a beeline for the APC. Your beloved state is Abia State. First, tell me about the situation in your state. This gale, he reached Abia.
Thank you very much. This is a very good question. APC has taken over Abia State. APC is now in control of Abia.
Okay.
Considering the number of people who have defected from PDP and other small parties. Before now, PDP was the strongest party in Abia State. But because the key stakeholders, the political key stakeholders in PDP, they have moved to APC. And that makes APC the strongest party and the party to beat in the next general elections. So we are harvesting them. It's to our advantage. And that gives Mr. President solid win. Solid win come 2027.
Okay. Okay. Well, then we move, from the way you've spoken, I would guess that you would be saying that the chances of the APC are not looking that bad in the Southeast. I wonder if that is what you would say, because that was going to be the next question. How do you evaluate the chances of APC? The Southeast has not been known traditionally as an APC area. Is it your opinion that things have changed?
You can see that there is a shift, and it's a positive shift as long as APC is concerned. Just recently, Enugu State has emptied into APC. Like you rightly pointed out, Southeast used to be the stronghold of PDP. But today, Southeast, APC is now in control of the entire Southeast. There's no state left, none. The headquarters of APC in the zone is in Imo State. The Ebonyi State is APC. Enugu State is APC. Abia is APC. Anambra is APC Abga. So what is left? It's very obvious that 2027, what you will see coming from Southeast will be Asiwaju tsunami. It's not wind, no. It's going to be Asiwaju tsunami. Like in Abia, there is no way the president will not have 1 million votes from Abia State alone, considering the number of defections and the type of people that have defected, considering the caliber and the strength of people that have joined the APC. They are the grassroots mobilizers. They are those that mobilizes voters and protects their votes. So that is why some people, those who are yet to join, are jittery.
Okay.
Like the Abia governor being a bit jittery about the strength of APC in Abia and in the Southeast. So if he decides to join APC today, he wants to leverage on what Mr. President has done, that is attracting people into the party. You know, so it's very, very obvious. There's no doubt about that Abia is APC, and come 2027, APC will govern Abia, and APC will give Mr. President at least 1 million votes during the general elections.
Okay, well, that sounds good to hear, I'm sure, from the point of view of those on Mr. President's, in Mr. President's camp and his party's camp. But it's one thing for these leaders to, jump a ship, what is the more, to the camp, to the camp to the national ruling party. But I was wondering if it isn't quite another thing to get the people, which is where the real power lies, to indeed cast their vote for, anybody, whether it is APC or PDP or, whatever. So that, how would you respond to that? It's one thing for all these organs to be coming. The people that make up the strength of the place, because those ones run into hundreds of thousands, even millions. Are you sure that the mere act of stepping over to another party, their followers would indeed buy it, or might they be thinking for themselves?
Good question. It would take a grassroots politician to mobilize others. You need mobilizers. You need those that people trust and believe in. You need those that have the capacity to convince people to vote and to join your party. So having this cream and la cream of people who are joining APC, these are the people that will begin to mobilize from units to wards to LGAs. The raw material for politics is human being. And when you have prominent people that are respected within their local government, within their community, and people who look up to them for direction, that's all we need. And those are the people who are joining us. You did point out earlier that APC wasn't in charge or wasn't much in control some years back in the Southeast.
That's right.
Why? Because these big wings, these big politicians, these game changers, we are in PDP. I will give you just one example. Sure. In 2011, PDP was fully in control of the Southeast. And if you look at the votes that came out, the former president then, Jonathan, got 1.1 million votes from Abia. Why? Because all the key players, they were in PDP. I ran during that election. I was the governorship candidate of ACN then. Okay. Our party didn't do too well because all the big players were in PDP. So those big players are now in APC. So what stops us from reproducing same votes or even more? So to answer your question straight, yes, we will mobilize those from the grassroots. As the leaders are moving, those that believe in them are also moving. By so doing, we'll have the votes we are looking for. So Southeast is looking very good, very strongly good. We have key stakeholders in the Southeast that are not sleeping, like the governor of Imo State is working day and night to make sure that no stone is left unturned. Then you come to Abia State, we have the Minister of Labor and Empowerment, Barrister Nkiru Konyo-Jocha. We have Senator Ojiz Okalo. We have Senator Nkechi Nwoko. We have Deputy Speaker. We have former governor and his Ochendo movement led by his son Chinedu Ochi. We have the former PDP governorship candidate. Just to mention but few, I am there also. So many people. So the key players in Abia, they have shifted to APC. And we have no choice than to harvest them in order to produce the required vote that will make the president win Southeast overwhelmingly without being questioned. So that's why I target is going to be a Asuwaju tsunami in 2027 in the Southeast.
Refresh my memory again. The reasoning of the Southeast, if one can put it that way, of walking over, as it were, leaving their parties, their former parties, and going into the ruling APC. I have heard some analysis along the line of it's always better to be where the center is, and that this has eluded the Southeast for a while, and so now, in the collective wisdom of the people, you don't want to be a fringe player. You must be where the mainstay is. Is that, roughly speaking, the argument for the eastern, region to come over, as it were, to the ruling party?
That's a very good question. You know why it's very important for us to key into the national grid? It helps for checks and balances.
Okay.
The allocation of Abia State has increased to over 30 billion every month. But the question is, what is the government at the center, the government of Lesotho, doing with it? Now, because he's not a member of the ruling party, he feels the credit will not go to the president. Most of the projects that have been done in the state are federal government projects. And when federal allocations comes to the states, and you know that you are connected, your party is also at the national level, you know you are answerable to Mr. President, you know your loyalty lies to the ruling party, you know that questions will be asked, and when those questions are asked, you will be able to provide answers. I'll give you a clear example. The governor of Abia State declared that he has spent more than 70 billion to construct smart schools. Up to this very day, none is being seen. He also published that he has used over 7 billion to construct recreational centers. Up to this very day, none is being seen in Abia State. There are a lot of federal government projects that are going on in Abia State, but he refused to give credit to the federal government. Now, if not that Mr. President is like the father of nations, some of these things could bring gap between the state and the center. But if you are connected to the center, it's seamless, because questions will be asked and answers will be provided. I'll give you another example. Since Lesotho came into office, he's been running the government from his personal home, where he lives, outside government house. Despite criticisms and advice, he refused to move into government house. Now, as a government that is connected at the center, when the president advises you, go back to government house, govern from there, you will obey the president. So connecting to the center makes it easier for every state to have free access, be checkmated by the party, and also be accountable to the people and to your party and to the leadership. If you also look back when PDP were in control of the Southeast, it's always easy for them to go crying to Mr. President. Always easy for them to go crying back to their president. Because in the party caucus, you're a member of the party, you take your case to the party, and the party also will present it. It attracts attention. It gives confidence also to investors that whatever we are investing in this state, the federal government could augment it and give strength to it. Abia wasn't APC state, but the late president then came and invested in a PDP state. Why? Because of the strong, solid relationship in the power plant in Aba Area International Market. So imagine if APC, as at then, was to be in the ruling party, how much Abia would have developed by now. But unfortunately, today, Abia is not part of, in the state, one of the states that APC is governing, but I assure you, in 2027, APC will take over Abia. Look at Imo State and see the level of development. How many times the president have gone there to commission projects? Look at Enugu State, the projects that the president commissioned in Enugu. And now Enugu knows that joining APC will attract more dividends of democracy to his people. So indeed, it's advisable for parties to key in with at the national level for the benefit of the people and development of the entire region. Okay.
Let me just ask you this. You hear the commentary going on, I'm sure, and the fear among some that Nigeria is moving on the path of what's that thing they call it? State, you know, that it's you know, it's become a one-party state. The country has become a one-party state. Okay. Yes. When you hear those apprehensions, how do you feel? Tell me what your thinking is.
Very simple. If you look at China, China has a one-party state. How are they developing? It's progress. They come together, they take a decision for the interest
China has an ideology. China has...
Correct.
Their own is communism. There's no argument about that.
So if whether one-party system or multiple parties, the most important thing is what is the ideology of that political party? Okay. What is it driving at? How is it going to benefit the entire Nigerians? All Nigerians are asking for is dividends of democracy, party or no party. Same people, different vehicle. So if you fly, for example, AirPeace to London, every time you want to fly to London, is there an issue with that as long as it gets you to where you're going to and on time? So I don't have anything against one-party system. Those that are against it, they have their own views and opinion. But my own take is that whether one-party system or not, dividends of democracy is what Nigerians will be asking for, and in particular, Abia State is looking for development. Okay. Development and not social media governance. So party platforms and party ideologies depends on the drivers of the party. If all Nigerians or all political parties collapse into APC, what does it mean? It means that all the stakeholders are now in one room to say, what are the challenges facing Nigeria? How do we tackle it? Not that the president will be making effort and some subnationals, like what is happening in Abia, will be sabotaging it one way or the other. That doesn't drive the dividends of democracy. But if everybody is in one basket, in my view, my opinion, I think it will help Nigeria to move faster.
Okay, well, I did ask for your opinion, although I'm a bit surprised to hear you being as forthright as this, that I don't have any problem with a so-called one-party state if it was not forcibly, you know, concocted. If people of their own free will just saw light, and for instance, in this case, renewed hope might be seen as an ideology, and these people believe, they've seen works and they believe that, and if people then, because of that, decide to draw closer, you have no problem with that, even as other political activists are saying that democracy thrives when we have multi-party system. You're saying that's their own opinion.
Like I said, yes, I don't have any issue with if everybody collapses into APC just to drive the renewed hope agenda.
Okay.
You know, the most important thing is who is the captain? Who is the captain of the ship or the airline? And the current captain that we have now, you can see what is happening in the economy. The subnationals, they have a whole lot, they have a lot of resources made available to them. Now, it's for them now to utilize it. The president cannot develop a state without the involvement of the governor. Okay? So when the resources goes to the state, what do they do with it? Like in Abia State, where the governor is governing on the social media, and the reality on ground is totally different from the resources that comes in from the federal government. Then at that point, what would the president do? Now, but if everyone is in the same party, if at all it's possible to achieve that, then the issue of diverting attentions or governing on the social media or doing showbiz without passing the dividends of democracy, because your party will now sanction you that you are bringing disgrace or you are not going in line with the party's ideology. So I personally, as a person, believes that even if we have one party system, it depends on the captain that is driving, that is behind the wheels of the aircraft or the ship, you know, that is steering the ship of the country.
Okay, but one has to quickly add that nobody, not even in the ruling party, has admitted that they are interested in Nigeria being a one-party state, but that doesn't mean that there aren't opinions, and I appreciate that I got your straightforward response. everything depends. If it was done above board, on the table, then why not? I like your analogy about, look, if all stakeholders are in one room, there's no need for us to be sending messages to people that weren't there, because everybody would have been there. Okay, so I really, appreciate that. So you, to conclude, are saying that the Southeast will definitely benefit from this gale of defections, as it is being put. And that is why you are a strong advocate of it, right?
Yes. You can see that even without being prompted, people are joining the APC. The lawmakers in Enugu, all of them, collapsed into APC. Why? They have seen the direction.
Okay.
That their governor will not mislead them. So I strongly believe that the remaining people, those that are still remaining, few that are still remaining, like I said, Abia is gone. We're not expecting any other person to join APC in Abia State. No, Abia is closed. The door is closed because any other person will be a liability, joining APC. And like I mentioned it earlier, and I'm very, very direct about it. If election is conducted today, the least Mr. President will get from Abia is 1 million votes because the key players are there. In Anambra, we're expecting Anambra to wrap up and closing the gap so that we have a good flight come 2027. And the table have flipped, Southeast may turn out to be the strongest hold of APC in the country.
Well, I want to thank you, Prince Paul Ikonne. Thank you very much, former Executive Secretary and CEO of NALDA, which, by the way, is a National Agricultural Land Development Authority. Thank you very much. And he's also a APC chieftain, an APC chieftain in Abia State. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure being with you.